silly question. That's really hard. That's a really good question. Funny enough, I kind of have like a quick answer to this. I feel like in a weird way I've thought about it. A lot of times we talk about Derek on the show about him kind of being that kind of like an old guy in a western. You guys like western movies at all? Maybe kind of. A little bit. Sometimes they're cool, right? Like, you know, like you have that guy who just wants to be like out on his ranch with his family, running his place, and that's it. He doesn't want to be in a big city. He doesn't want to be around any of that. That's kind of Derek. And the scene that we had where, you know, Isaac says, you know, were you bored? Were you lonely? And he says, maybe. To me, that was a huge thing as far as like, the character development of Derek. And finally finding out why it is that he started this pack. Because originally, you know, it's all about power and wanting more and more and more. But really deep down, I think it was just like he wants to be that guy. He doesn't want. I don't think he wanted power ever to be able to control everybody. I don't think he ever wanted it for any like malicious reasons. I think he was tired of being on the run. And he was tired of being alone all the time. And I think he felt like he was missing that sense of family. So I think Derek would be a really good dad. I could see him being very, very, very protective.
I do too. I see him as a grumpy dad, but soft on the inside.
Like a grumpy cat dad? Yeah, no, I could see him being very strict.
That you know in the first place, but if you do the puppy eyes, it will tell you that.
The puppy eyes, I see right there. They would know how to do that. Little werewolf. Like a little puppy. No, but I could see him being very much. Actually, there was a really good show a couple years ago called American Dreams. You guys remember that show? It's a really good show, but the dad in that show, it would remind me a lot of him, in the fact that he's very, very stern most of the time. But when he needs to be, you know, that vulnerable, like loving dad, just put that little like touch of like it's gonna be okay, he would know how to do it in a very subtle way. But I think in the end, I think he would always just have their best interest, and I think he'd be a good dad.
Thank you.
Thank you. Who disagrees with that? Who thinks Derek would be a terrible dad? You just screw everything up. You did, I saw you. You were trying to hide it. You were trying to hide it. I remember this.
My question is stolen from friends. She suggested the question like, if you could meet Derek and hang out with him and have a conversation and or fun, what would you do or talk about?
Ah, jeez. What I hear. Like, Derek, let's talk about your apartment. You need light. You need a refrigerator. Wow, what would they do? I guess he just follows Derek around on all these terrible assignments he goes on. I don't know. I could see. I think I just have a lot of questions for him. I think I just want to know, like, what makes you, what makes you do these things that you do? And obviously, as the actor that he plays, like, I kind of have to ask those questions. But it's cool to think of the idea of actually being able to sit in a room with the character that you've been playing for a long time and having it, actually being able to have that person sit across from you and being able to have that conversation with them is a really cool idea. But I think, take off a couple beers, see what happens. I think Derek could use a couple beers. I think maybe that's what he needs. Maybe just need like one.